Yes, sir. My name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here, we're going to be going into the best teams and equipments that you can actually acquire for Trunks and Vegeta, the new tag unit. A lot of people are going to be wanting to build teams, so this is what we're doing in this video. Hopefully, you guys are going to enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button, man. I'm a little ill, but I'm building this video for you guys. On this grind to 40,000 subscribers, 35k hopefully by the end of the year. All my social media links going to be on the bottom of the screen. This is the YouTube channel. We've got a Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link all in the description below. Not holding you guys up too long this video. Let's get into it, man. Alright, so something I like to point out when it comes to team building, just to give you guys an easier time, you should actually sort things by element. Now, the reason I do this is because you want to ideally have one unit of every element on your team so that you can go ahead and fight against color counters. But one thing that's good to note with this is because we're dealing with a tag unit, they would actually counter two colors. So it's not always necessary to have one of every color or one of every element, but it is to your benefit in case the enemy is using a color that you're not expecting. You'd never really know, but in some cases, obviously, the meta would form in a way where it's always the same team, especially with the hybrid meta that just passed. But let me show you one thing with the power level. So if you go to power level, you will just look at characters and you'll know that a certain character is not worse than the other character. So let's just take, I don't know, this Spirit Bomb Goku. He has a higher power level than MUI Goku. I think that's insane, and I'm sure you guys agree, and you should know by the way they play in game as to which one is going to be much more better. So you shouldn't really take too much to account with the power level because they're not actually accurate for how they will perform in game, especially per team. So I'd always advise you sort by element so you can actually just have a variety. But I've called that like the fundamental of team building. It makes it much easier for you to have like a clear sight of what you need on your team. Now that we've got through that, we're going to look at the main two teams that I'd suggest building this Trunks and Vegeta on, and I would actually suggest that you stick to Vegeta Clan or Future. Future being the most popular option, and the reason I say that is because their Z abilities are tied to those two tags more than anything. But they do also have a little bit of hybrid saying. But I want to point out that you can see another Vegeta Clan comes out when you get them to 6 stars. And if you look in their unique ability, they actually give buffs accordingly to the tag that you're using them on. So you can see here, blast damage for Future and strike damage for Vegeta Clan. So in this case, we're going to start with Future, but just knowing that tells you what teams you're going to actually want to main. So if we go to Future here and actually set up like that, I'm going to press confirm because I don't have all the Future characters, which is unfortunate for me. But I would say because they're actually range type as well is something that I want to point out. You'd want to build the team a lot more range based. So you can see the droids at the bottom, they can do kind of either or. But if we actually go back, go to party formation, if we're looking for range type characters more than anything, this Gohan is a good option if we're going to start. You can go for the blue with Zamasu as well. You're going to need Zamasu actually because he's kind of like the pan equivalent for Future in a sense. So yeah, definitely keep Zamasu on. If we're going another green, you could have this Trunks. I'd say you need to have him at least 6 stars or higher, maybe 9 stars. Me personally, I've only gotten 3, but because he's got like a double ultimate, he can actually do a lot of quick damage, which is actually very valuable. He obviously has more strike damage, but he can get some value out of the blast on that team as well. You can really bring Rose, but I feel like there's going to be another purple unit to get a Zenkai, maybe this Vegeta, because he would be a good fit. He's literally got blast damage in his main ability for allies, so that would be valuable. But if you want to slap on Rose, you can. You don't need a yellow, but if you wanted another yellow, you can have Future Gohan just for the support with the endurance. And I wouldn't really advise for the red except for the droids, but this guy here, he's more strike based. But you don't have to keep it blast based just because I've shown you that this guy here is blast based. You could actually keep the rest of the team kind of like balancing both things, which actually would be easier because most of the good Future units are actually strike based. So if we go restart, I'd actually keep Zamasu on. Like I said, he's going to be the pan equivalent. You could have Sword of Hope on as well if you don't want to use the Zamasu, simply because he has endurance too. If we go to the green, this Vegeta is a snipe monster. Zimzam here is a solid brick wall. Then it would be better to bring in Rose on this team here. And then if we go to the yellows, I already mentioned Future Gohan. And then for the red, you could have a solid CMZ, Zenkai buffing as well. But you could also have the droids who can also get Zenkai buff, because this guy's Zenkai buffs red powerful opponents, which is solid. But yeah, Future is definitely the most popular one. So this is kind of what I'd go for. With the options I've showed you how they would fit, but I think I'd actually opt into prioritizing This Vegeta, because he's really a snipe monster, this Zamasu would be a really good fit. If I had the red droids, the tag droids, I'd actually put them on as well. They have a lot of value. Probably Zenkai buff them using red rose as well, getting some value out of that. And if I don't want to use this guy, I'd put out the Trunks. I wouldn't even think about a purple because I feel like this rose isn't good enough personally. But that's just my preference. It's all down to you. Next, we're moving on to Vegeta Clan, and in this case now, because I pulled Trunks today, I have all the units. It's a similar thing, to be honest, because Vegeta Clan, most of the units are strike based in that sense, so you kind of just want to mix and match to kind of get a balance. You don't need every element, like I said, because these cover both. So because they're yellow, they're usually type advantage over purples, and they're weak against reds. But if they swap it, they'll be strong against reds and then weak against purples. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If we're looking at what we'd put, sort of Hope Trunks are a very good fit. MV is literally the best fit, because if we actually look at his Zenkai ability is specifically for Vegeta Clan, so that could bring sort of Hope Trunks' value up as well. That Vegeta I spoke about is really, really good, but you could also have the tag 4s actually on the leader slot, and the reason I say specifically leader slot is because of their Z ability. You wouldn't be helping out the whole team, so that's very important to take in. If we're looking at the purples, if you really wanted to, you could get Blue Bros in the mix, but then you'd have to build the team more Saiyan mixed, and I wouldn't really go for that with Blue Bros. But you could actually run a triple tag team, I'm not even gonna lie, because you can see here with the Blue Bros, they actually buff Vegeta Clan, so you can actually get value out of that. And then if we're looking at the yellows, we've already got the main one there. And then for the red, I wouldn't really suggest it, but if you're really, really a Vegeta Clan guy, you could definitely have Ape. I wouldn't suggest it. He does have endurance, but the guys that have this guy at 14 stars, they make use of him somehow. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could. Vegeta Clan doesn't have as many options. They're very limited, but you can definitely make it work if you have the right equips, which is what we're going to get into next. Next, we're going into equipments. I like this equipment here. It's very, very valuable. It's not the easiest to get, but with the Bonanza or whatever they call it, you can actually get the slot quite easier. Awaken, you just wait androids #1. You can get this obviously in the Zenkai Rush shop, but if you want the non-awakened version, so you can actually awaken it, you can actually get it from the equipment medal shop. I'll show you in a second. So you can see here, blast defense, special move damage, base blast attack, and then obviously if it's on hybrid in future. If I actually show you in the archive where you can actually get, so if we go to archive and then we scroll down, or fix the tags accordingly. So what I'm going to do is actually change it to hybrid aim. Nice. And then we look for the equip right there. You can see right here, same equip, and you get it from the equipment medal shop. Next, we've got this ×10 equipment, which is for God Key and yellow. It's not the most optimal, but you can get a lot of blast attack out of it, and you get defenses alongside some key recovery, which is always just clutch generally speaking, and a tiny bit of strike attack. You can get this from the ultimate equipment collection. It's the God Key yellow one. Next, we got to talk about this Vegeta's Anger equip, because you can get a high amount of blast attack, but the main thing is the special move damage. Very, very valuable, because obviously it's a tag unit, so they don't have an ultimate art. You got to get the blue card off to actually just nuke people. Keep that in mind. It does have some strike damage, but you can get the Awaken from the Zenkai Ultra Space Time Rush Shot. If we look at the tags, Vegeta melee range type. If I actually confirm it and go to the archive again, here we go here, Vegeta's Anger. I had to just search in Vegeta because it's only for Vegeta, but you can find it in the Z medal shop and the equipment medal shop. I don't know why you'd go this route, but I think I'm going to mention it if you just wanted to go more a bit defensively to actually make sure they just don't die straight away. But we got here the Invincible, Almighty, and Divine. It's just straight double defense, and you've actually got some health and health restoration, considering they're going to be tag switching, they gain a bit of HP and whatnot. You get this from the Ultimate Equipment Collection as well for the future Trunks Saga. It's definitely impossible for me to go a video without mentioning the Righteous Saiyans equipment, because you can get double blast. Each slot you can literally create your own equipment, that's what I call it, but you should go for double blast because they're range type, and then the last slot definitely go for blue. It's definitely the most valuable. And then where you get this is the Z medal shop. It's not the easiest to grind, but right now it's easier than ever. This is a sleeper equip, Hurry Up and Die, and it's not one of the hardest ones to grind. Special move, and you can get some blast attack out of it, which is good, but it's not too difficult to grind. It's for range type, and you get it from the Z medal shop. This one here is new, and it'll probably be added to the equipment medal shop or the Z medal shop, but this one here, I believe you grab it from PvP. It says you cannot acquire this item at this time, but there'll be a place where you can get it soon. Double blast and HP, very valuable. It's just that PvP is down at the time I'm making this video, so play PvP and you'll be able to get that. Exchange shop should be up as well, so yeah, double blast attack, getting the most out of it, and some HP. But yeah, man, that's going to wrap up the video, man. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If there's any equipments that you felt I left out, definitely leave them down below. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 40,000 subscribers. All my social media is going to be in the bottom of the screen. There's the YouTube channel, we've got a Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link all in the description below. I'm going to get some rest, man. I appreciate you guys for watching. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.